Hello Brawlhalla fans, it's Raidhyn and I'm here with a guide for all things related to punishment. Now, punishing in fighting games is a very common concept and something that all beginners need to learn in order to progress, but in Brawlhalla, with it being an arena brawler, it's a little bit more hidden behind the background than, say, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where blocking and punishing is essential. In Brawlhalla, you have to rely a little bit more on whiff setups and other things, so let's take a look at some of the scenarios in which you can punish. First off is bad spacing and whiffed moves. Now, I've slowed all these clips down to 50% so we can take a look at them, but basically what I mean by punishing bad spacing and whiffed moves is when your opponent completely misses you. When they're in the middle of an attack animation, that's usually the best time for you to be able to hit them because you can knock them out of it, you can punish them clearly with the better move, and all these kind of slowed down examples are different scenarios where somebody went for an attack that was the wrong thing to do at the moment and got punished for it. So this is the most basic punishment concept, and something that you should be thinking about actively while you're playing is not just, I need to hit the opponent, but let me capitalize on my opponent's mistakes and punish him for it. Alright, so the next one is punishing heavy and signature moves. Now, the reason I don't like using a lot of heavier signature moves in 1v1 is because they're very easy to punish. They're usually very noticeable, and unless they have a long amount of active frames or some kind of safety to it, it's pretty easy to punish them because you can see it coming from a long ways away. Now, I've included a bunch of examples here for different options on how to punish afterwards, and you can see that whether you're armed or unarmed, you pretty much have some good choices for being able to punish effectively because of the long recovery on all these heavy and signature moves. So again, this is something that you want to be actively thinking about while you're playing. If your opponent likes to use heavy or signature moves, be ready to punish those. Bait them out, expect them to happen, play a little bit more safely so that you can spot out the uses of those moves and punish accordingly. Here's another example with a charged move where you can punish that, and yeah. So let's look at punishing dodges. Now, a lot of people, especially Misfit, likes to dodge into people. So you kind of need to be able to punish these preemptive dodges with using the fast moves on your character's weapons that are designed to be used at close range. Most of these are just the standing quick attacks with no additional movement, and it even works well, as we can see here, with unarmed moves. You can also punish dodges that are dodging into your character with moves that have good hitboxes or have a lot of active frames. So it's just something, again, to be thinking about, that not all dodges provide super invulnerability. You can punish bad dodges. Alright, let's quickly look at punishing Valkyria horns. So, when people pick up Valkyria horns, there is a brief moment of vulnerability where you can attack them as they're summoning. They're basically completely open. Now, of course, this requires a good amount of luck and spacing in order to be able to do it appropriately, but you can turn the tables on people who are using them incorrectly. Alright, so let's talk about the reversal punish. This is one of my favorites. This is basically where, through a good use of dodging, you counter someone's move with the move that they were just trying to use on you. It's probably one of the flashier looking things that you can pull off in Brawlhalla, and is a lot of fun when you can pull it off, and it's something that's really useful for edge guarding and being able to churn the tables on people who are being really aggressive on the edge, trying to chase you down with knockouts. So again, this is just another punishment option. If you know that's what people are going for, you can punish that way as well. Alright, so next up we have punishing dive kicks. Dive kicks have become really popular recently because of them out-prioritizing just about everything in the game. However, you can punish them if you're expecting them. All you need to do is dodge out of the way and then respond with one of the fastest attacks you have. Again, I like to use the standing neutral because it's probably the safest of all responses, and it does a decent amount of damage. Alright, so lastly we're going to look at something that's one of my favorite setups in the game, and if you've stayed through the video this far, you're in for a treat. I'm going to talk about item, dodge, bait, and punish. And this is basically a technique that I use quite frequently, where I will throw an item at somebody to force out a dodge. So here we can see I throw the item, the dodge comes out, and I'm able to follow up immediately with an unarmed attack. Now, this is probably one of the best ways to actually use your weapons and item throwing in a way that gives you double the amount of advantage. Now, of course, you need to have really good spacing and placement in order for this to happen, and it's not going to happen 100% of the time, especially if your opponent decides to dodge away from you. However, this is something where I've been able to use this technique time and time again, and it's truly helped out in a number of ways. As far as me being able to get extra damage on people in scenarios where they otherwise would have avoided it completely. Alright, so that concludes my guide to all things punishment in Brawlhalla. Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember, if you liked the video, to please hit the like button, it helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you would like to see more, and I'll see you next time for more Brawlhalla.